All right.
All right, so Stephanie, we're going to take a few minutes to debrief about how you thought the lesson went today, and then the next steps of what you foresee happening in your class.
Okay.
Okay, so what can you tell me that you thought worked really well in your lesson today?
Okay, so them working as partners.
Okay.
Choral reading, and I really liked the vocabulary activity that I did where they had to find the clue words, the context clues within the sentence. I think that worked really well. I think that they had a couple of aha moments where they really connected the dots. Corrective feedback is one of the things that, you know, we kind of talked about is something that just kind of comes naturally, that I didn't even notice that I was doing. But whenever they whenever they're struggling, I just go ahead and I'm like, no.
You noticed right then and there.
Yeah, let me help
so
you. Yes.
One thing that I noticed too that worked really well is you let them have that productive struggle. You know, so you didn't, when you saw them that they had the wrong answer, you didn't automatically say no. You let them struggle because they have to. If they never productively have that productive struggle,
that
then
is so stinking hard.
It is hard.
Really hard to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's also kind of awkward because you're kind of sitting there and you're waiting and
yes, it is awkward. You just have to wait.
Yes, you just have to wait, and then normally they figure it out, or the other kids help them. Their partners will help them. So the partner work is very beneficial.
Yes. Okay, so how do you think the needs of the students were met?
I think that they left with a better understanding of what the skill is. I think that working with a partner helped build their confidence.
Okay. So one thing that you told me to look for yesterday when we met before the lesson was that you wanted me to see if they were going to have partner talk and if they would look back in their notes. And I did notice that most of them definitely looked back in their notes. And the partner talk, some talked better than others, but when you noticed that they weren't talking, just pointing, you made a point to say, hey, I need you to communicate and talk. I need you to use your words.
Right. Yeah, that one little girl, she just likes to point because she doesn't, she wants to help her partner, but she'll just point at the paper and it's like, come on, sister, you got to talk.
Yes.
So, yeah.
What does the evidence from the student work that you looked at, and I know we looked at it briefly, but when we look back over again, during the lesson, suggest about their progress towards mastering the standard?
I think that they've got like a good base level knowledge of what external and internal response is, but I think whenever it's asking them to pinpoint a moment or dig a little bit deeper, I think that that's where some of them are struggling. So I think that it would be, there's our work.
Okay, there's our, yeah, that didn't go so well. Okay.
It's okay.
That's okay.
So I think that it would be beneficial for them to have, a little bit more time, or more work, on this, on being able to pinpoint, maybe some higher level questioning. Specifically, it just asks at first, what is this character's external response, because it changes. And so noticing that it can change, I think that they've got like a good baseline of, okay, this is external response, but I don't think that they know that, I just don't think that they've connected the dots yet, that response can change based on new information.
Well, on this, I know they've been working a lot with plot and how characters and setting advance the plot, but this is just, I think, new language for them too.
Yes.
Where they're not used to seeing this language. They know the basics of how those two are together, but then this is...
Just having that question being asked and the way that it's being asked, I think the more exposure that they have to those types of questions, the more confident that they're going to get with it. And this was definitely the section where they're working on their own. So I think that, it's indicative that we just need to practice some more. Yeah.
What instructional practices moved students towards the mastery of the standard? Because I know you said they did good for the base level. So, and even for some of the students for that higher level, they were able to do it. So what instructional practices do you think moved them to that level?
I think working together, peer to peer. They have me modeling it, but I think whenever, that is something that I could do, is strategically kind of partner them with people who did do well with that digging deeper. And the next time that, if I decide to do a remedial lesson, partner them with someone who I know got that, and then that way they can hear that language twice. They hear it from me and they hear it from their partner. I think breaking it down into parts helps. And also just having their notes available to them. I saw them flipping back and looking at their notes. And, partially it's because, I encourage them to do that. I tell them that that's what I expect. But also I think that once they realize that, that they have their notes available to them, that they'll use them.
Yeah. What additional strategies should be considered to address the challenges?
I think we need to do another lesson.
Okay.
I think we just need more practice. And it's not necessarily on that base level, like what is this and what is this? I think it's, really digging into the text and being able to say, okay, this is the external response at this point, and then reading a little bit further and saying, ooh, her response is different. Why is it different? What's her internal response? And then being able to see, being able to answer a question like, at first, what was her external response? And then after, what caused it to change? So just having another lesson.
Okay.
I think we just need to remediate and have another lesson.
So saying that you noticed that you need another lesson on this aspect of it. So what would be your timeline for implementing the next steps?
Within the next few days, probably the next time that I meet with these kids, to be honest with you. So today's Tuesday, so it would be Thursday. We'll chat about this, and I'll have something else pulled that we can practice with them.
And would you again do the I do, we do, and then the you do to see if they're going to get better?
But it would be modeling not that base level. It's going to be modeling a question like this. So we're going to be, leveling up a little bit.
Okay, so, and you said leveling up, because I think the highest level right here is having them write the written responses like they have. I mean, to me, that kicks it up more than just a regular multiple choice, because they have to put into words what their response is. So would you keep it written response like this? Would you put some multiple choice in? Would you mix it up, or how do you foresee doing it?
I mean, I'm going to keep it written response just because that's par for the course at my table. That's normally what we do. But I do think that whenever I model it, I'm going to model it with these types of questions and show them, and then that way that they'll have those notes to go back to. So they'll see, okay, this is what we expect on this type of question. And then they're going to work with a partner on a higher level question like this, and then they'll be on their own. So they will have seen it, now three additional times. By the time they get to the fourth time, then they're by themselves.
Okay.
Yep.
So do you have any questions for me, or any support that I can provide for you for the this remedial or follow-up lesson?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
do I need to do multiple choice? Is that something you would suggest?
No, I think this is what I feel about written response. If you can tell me and write your response out, then I know you can pick out the answer in a multiple choice.
Right.
Is how
Okay.
I look at it. So
Yeah, I agree.
I just didn't know if you were thinking because fast is all multiple choice, like just getting them used to seeing that. But if you already do a lot of multiple
It's hard to write
choice,
those multiple choice questions in this way, though. I mean, without making the answer obvious.
yeah.
Yes. So I think, having them, analyze a text, write their answer, us being able to discuss it is very meaningful.
It is, because when you analyze a text and you have to be able to explain it. And if you can explain it, then you understand that concept.
Yep. All right. Well, then that's it.
All right. Well, I really enjoyed the lesson. I love coming to your classroom. The kids are always so well behaved.
Yes, I appreciate that.
They do their best.
Thank you. Awesome.